It's on!
Hey everybody, it is on. Welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live. Don't panic, everyone's coming. We just wanted to give everyone their own introduction here. So my name is Juby Mosley. I am the co-founder here of Laughing Place. First up, joining me on the show today is my wife, Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to chatting about all things Disney parks.
Going to change things up a little bit. Next up is our Southern California, is our East Coast correspondent, Jeremiah Good. How you doing today, Jeremiah?
Doing quite well. How about yourself?
I am doing okay. Anything?
I didn't shave today. Sorry.
Anything to declare today, Jeremiah?
I declare this is a really cool shirt that I got a long time ago from Roosevelt's.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, thank you, Roosevelt's, for my hat. I forgot.
Oh, see, very important stuff.
Yep.
And finally, we have a brand new contributor to today's show. Who we will let him introduce himself. Hello, sir. Who are you?
Hi, it's me, Mike. Sans beard.
Yay!
And sans ring light because it's in the other room.
That is ostensibly Mike Celestino, our Southern California and Star Wars reporter here on Laughing Place. But based on what I'm seeing, I'm not 100% convinced. Exactly. If you would like to contribute to today's conversation or have any opinions on Clean Shaven Mike, please use the chat for that. We welcome that. Positive opinions only, but any opinions on Disney, just use the chat. Please be a part of the show. We'd first also like to thank Mouse Fan Travel. First, happy birthday to Becky Menken, the founder and chief executive.
Wait, today is Becky's birthday?
According to Facebook, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday to Becky. Today we learned NEI stands for Menken
Enterprises.
Something Enterprises Incorporated. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for your support of Laughing Place, and we highly recommend you use Mouse Fan Travel because they are great.
And she's a terrific follow, both on any kind of socials, Facebook, Twitter.
That is very true.
Always sharing with you the latest and greatest in travel fun.
Cool. So why don't you get us started, Rebecca, as I'm a tiny bit distracted trying to send a file to someone.
Oh, look at Donna being so sweet to Mike.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. We're starting off with the news that the Disney World license plates that you can get if you're in Florida, they've raised $3 million for Make-A-Wish. That also means they've granted about 300 wishes specifically to Florida families. If you're in Florida and are considering a personalized or fun license plate, remember that 100% of the fees with this go to the organization. Jeremiah,
yes.
Did you get one of these fun? I don't know if you got one of these fun plates. Have you considered it?
I got the 50th one, which was the original. And you don't have to have it personalized. It can be just the normal. And now I'm starting to see everybody that apparently went in to get their plate right around the same time as I did, because they all had the same numbers in sequential order.
Oh, funny.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
I want they have a special name. They're not a personalized plate. I want to call them specialty. The specialty plate out here in the California, it has Snoopy. It's about museums. Part of the funds go to museums. So that's the one that I've been thinking about getting. Donna saying that's so great. Love Make-A-Wish. Such a fantastic. They went to actually give kids the World Village, I believe, and Make-A-Wish was part of helping with the granddaughter trip to Disney World. Next up.
Well, I don't want you to leave that just yet, just because I just wanted to mention specifically they said over 300 wishes were granted, and they actually in our article, we have some pictures from some of those wishes, which, the license plates are cool and all, but it's nice to see what it actually was for. And I'm glad they actually sent that out in like a community email. I'm very glad they actually included some of the wishes being granted in that email because they are very touching and nice to see. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
As you may have noticed over there in the What We're Covering, our very own Luke Manning is in Tokyo for the first time, and he has been sharing all kinds of fun adventures. Oh, I think I just accidentally clicked on an ad. And he'll be with us soon to talk about it. So
not soon today, but when he gets back.
Yeah.
And there go our followers. He's
Caitlin,
not here. Forget that.
Caitlin has a picture for Mike. I can't make her the image big, so
It's a little small on the screen.
yeah.
for me
Sorry,
to see what it is.
Caitlin.
So yeah, they did in Tokyo. Like you said, we'll have Luke come on and talk to us in detail. But we do have a full video on our site as they debuted their new firework and projection show, which for the first time has Avengers in a projection show. We showed some of that on the morning show a few days ago, and it's kind of cool to see that the Avengers arriving scene from Infinity War kind of play out on the castle there. Cool.
Jeremiah, have you seen any of these kind of immersive projection shows over there at Tokyo?
I saw when I was there however many moons ago, I saw they were doing the original projection show, because that's in Tokyo's where, Paris and Tokyo both had the first projections. And it's weird to see any of the shows in Tokyo, because it's just like I'm sitting here on Main Street watching it on the castle here, because their castle is identical. But they go all out for everything, as Tokyo does, no matter what.
So stay tuned, because when Luke gets back, we'll hear more about his unique popcorn experiences, like roast beef flavored popcorn, and get some updates on what's happening over there, like Small World's closed. So, it'll be fun to hear more about Tokyo. You know
what I'm most excited about getting a report from Luke on?
What?
Let me see. I think I have the picture here. I think it's worth sharing. Oh, that's not the one. I got it right here. If I can, may I share my screen for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is right there. Now right there. The Otter, what is it? Otter Cafe?
Yeah, this makes no sense to me.
So Luke went to, I guess they have an Otter Cafe there where you eat and there are otters around, and somehow you're supposed to not get yourself mauled by an otter while this is going on.
Right?
Yeah. Sound like fun,
big cuddle party.
Uh-huh.
The look on Jeremiah's face is the best. You have just such disdain on your face.
We haven't heard from Mike yet today. Mike, would you like to eat with an otter?
Now I just got to ask my wife if she knows about this, because we are theoretically going to be in Japan in April. And she's a big otter fan. So now we may have to go visit the Otter Cafe.
Okay, before you do, go check out the headline about what recently happened in Oregon. I want to say it was Oregon, along the riverside, before you go decide to dine with these little critters. They are intense.
Did an otter maul somebody?
Yes, they do. They maul people. They do. It is not unheard of. So I do not like. It's like, when we used to be like, oh, look, chimpanzees, they're so cute and cuddly, and then we
throw
learned
poo at you,
or rip your face off.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the poo.
Given your face, I can understand that.
Oh, ouch. Let's see.
I'll throw poo at you next time I see you, Doobie. I'm gonna start a bag.
The Disney Treasure is in the midst of its sea trials. First, it had to make its way along 20 miles of river out to the North Sea. Can you imagine? What a view! What do you think?
That's every view with the Disney cruise ship is beautiful, but seeing it there with the horses and the grass, that would be lovely. If we were in that area, we would definitely go watch this ship and every ship that comes out of that shipyard make its way into the sea. That would be so cool.
Yeah, I just love this idea of the beautiful countryside, and then all of a sudden a cruise ship goes sailing by. If you're going to be traveling on the Treasure, they have announced the new exclusive cruise line Treasure Band available. I'm sorry, DisneyBand Plus, right? That's what they call these.
DisneyBand Plus for now, because I think I heard on a podcast not too long ago that one of the ships is now able to use Magic Band Plus. So not because these are the same but different, but I heard that one of the ships now can use the same. So who knows? But going back a little bit to it setting sail on the river. So I guess it leaves the river, it leaves the shipyard. First, it has to do trials, which just sounds so cool. I remember we watched that Wish documentary, The Making of the Wish, and they spent quite a lot of time on that documentary, which is now for free on YouTube, on the trials that the ship goes through once it, they can see all the capabilities of it, make sure obviously it's totally safe and everything. And then it has to make its way all the way here to Florida, eventually Florida, where it will have its maiden voyage in late December, but presumably will have other voyages prior to that. This is obviously a big step to get out of the shipyard, but it's still got a long way to go before it has that first voyage. And it's just so exciting all along the way to watch it happen. So would love if they did another documentary like they did for The Wish. I don't think they are, but that was really interesting to see everything that happens between the shipyard and Florida. Like, even though it's left the shipyard, the ship is not done. There are people on that ship who are working like crazy to get everything done on the ship all the way across the ocean. They are working while sailing with the ship across the ocean. It's just such a cool process. Go watch that documentary, Making of the Wish. All right, I'm done.
That's right. There's the band is available. You can learn more about that. As always, we'll have the links below for the various headlines we're discussing. And
$45 for that band, by the way, which is worth every penny. I would definitely get one.
It's not pink, Doobie. Sorry.
It's got a cruise ship on it. If it were pink and had a cruise ship, I'd pay $145 for it. But
no, you wouldn't. You
I wouldn't.
No.
I would convince someone to buy me one at $145.
Okay, yeah, that's what would happen. The Disney Dream is in the midst of adding new concierge staterooms in the dry dock. So we have an article about that. As a reminder, they've already announced some changes to the concierge lounge, some upgrade to the funnel suite with a Fantasia theme. So yeah, some fun coming with the Disney Dream dry dock. So that's currently underway. And I think mid-October is when those sailings will begin.
I have opinions. I
yes.
have thoughts on this. This is the roundtable portion of our show, and I would like the spotlight on me as I discuss what they are doing to my Disney Dream. They're adding more concierge. They're converting standard rooms to concierge rooms. They're ruining my cruise line. Disney Cruise Line was created to be a premium cruise line. You pay a ton of money. You pay so much more. You pay more than twice you would pay on, say, a similar Royal Caribbean cruise. But then it's all inclusive. There's no nickel and diming, and the service is top notch, and yada, yada, yada. You know exactly what you're paying for. But one of the things you're paying for is not to be nickel and dime. They've always had concierge. Obviously, they've always had concierge. But the fact that they now think they need to take some rooms that are currently standard rooms and convert them to concierge, convert them to upcharge rooms, which also will therefore have fewer non-concierge rooms, and by the law of supply and demand, prices can then go up on those rooms. Really, I don't like the way they seem to be shifting the Disney Cruise Line from you pay more, you get more, you don't nickel and dime, to you pay more and we're still going to try to wring every cent out of you. Obviously, you don't have to pay it, but just that whole mentality bothers me because it's not what the cruise line was created for. Like even something as simple as Palo. There was a time where going to Palo was a $10 literal nominal charge. Now Palo makes money straight off the bat. You can pay $50, I think, for brunch now. So I think I just don't like the direction that they seem to be going with the cruise line, and this converting some standard rooms to concierge rooms, having so many concierge rooms on the new ships in general. Well, that's what I have to say about that. Yes, I have noticed, Gio. I most definitely have noticed in one area, which at least for a while was not there, was the cruise line. And the fact that it's gone there too is even more bothersome to me. So I know you know a bit about cruise lines, Jeremiah. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I agree. I don't think. I mean, I was lucky enough on my last cruise to experience a concierge room in the concierge lounge, which is beautiful. It was definitely worth the cost that somebody had paid, I'm sure. But I agree. I think we don't need constant upcharges such as concierge. And, you know, the sad thing is it's going to book, like, just that's why they have to add it, is they keep booking. Now they're, you know, getting rid of the funnel, that whole area, and turning that into a suite. And
right,
it's not needed, but again, we don't run the company that already makes way too much money.
Yeah, and I don't mind them making money. The whole goal is to make money. I agree with that. I think from a purely financial perspective, the long term, not just the short term, but the long term, is to not try to turn what is already a very expensive product into a very expensive product, plus all these opportunities to spend even more money, in my humble opinion.
But hey, there are like 12 more ships coming, so.
And that'll help. That's not lost on me.
Is it just me, or has the humor about Disney parks and Disney visits in general shifted from it's crowded to it's expensive? I feel like growing up, 90% of the jokes I would hear about a Disney vacation were about how crowded it is or how many lines I had to wait in or this or that. Whereas I say 90% of the humor I hear now about it is how expensive it is. And it wasn't like people before were like, oh, this is so cheap. I just mean like, as far as like kind of the major target joke was like Disney equals I'm waiting in line. Now I feel like it's Disney equals my pocketbook is empty.
Well,
you pay to not wait in line now, so that's the biggest
Maybe that's
thing.
why. It's just been interesting. I was noticing that the other day. I was hearing some jokes about Disney, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
I would say when I talk to my friends about Disney, when they find I'm a Disney fan, there's an initial reaction. I would agree that the initial reaction has shifted from I don't really like Disney, it's so crowded, to it's really expensive.
Yeah.
It was crowded on Saturday though at Epcot,
and still expensive.
By the way, just recently was talking with some friends who went on a Disney cruise, and I was really disappointed to hear that they had gone for the one of the seasonal. I wanted to say it was like the Halloween season cruise, and even though that's what it was within the frame of, that wasn't yet. It was like one of the first ones of the new season, and it wasn't yet totally complete. And I'm like, if I'm buying into the seasonal cruise,
right,
I want everything to be like there. So
yeah,
I thought that's kind of like, oh, that'd be a bummer. So then, so like a cruise or two later would get like the kind of a better experience within the
yeah, no, stuff happens, I realize, but if it was just bad planning, that would really make me. Can I ask a question? So I've been reading, there's been a topic on DCL in Reddit lately, and I just want to get you guys' opinion on it. So we all know what cruise trivia is, and apparently some people are experiencing a problem with trivia, not because there are Disney experts on there like Jeremiah, that happens, but because there are repeat cruisers on there who simply have the questions memorized.
Yep.
And they are winning every single contest as a result. They're not cheating. They just have but they're not based on Disney knowledge. It's based on the fact they memorized it. They go in there to the point where the hosts say, kind of, oh, well, we know who's going to win this one. If you were such a repeat cruiser, and fine, you want to go play trivia, you like the atmosphere, whatever. If you were such a repeat cruiser that you literally had every question memorized, would you just play silently, or would you still go out there and win and get the medal? Mike, what would you do? You're a big trivia guy. I know you're muted, by the way. I know you're a big trivia guy. You and your friends go out and do pub trivia and stuff.
Yeah, we did it yesterday.
If you literally knew the answers, would you step aside, or would you just say, too bad?
No, I wouldn't play if I knew the answer. I think the fun is seeing if you know the answers or not trying to memorize it by repetition.
I assume you feel the same way, Jeremiah?
Absolutely. I mean, the only reason that I go play the trivia when I'm there is to win the medals. If I've got all the medals at that point, I'm not going back to win everything.
Oh, that's a good question.
But what if it's a medal you don't have?
Well, if I walk in and it's the same trivia, or I know that there have been times where they've said the same question, but it'll be in a different phrase. Like
we're asking a very specific thing. You walk in there.
Oh no, I wouldn't play if it was
if it's a new medal.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't I would rather just wait and go to a different one.
And I know Rebecca's answer, because Rebecca doesn't even want to do it when she wins once, let alone just memorizing the questions.
Correct. Once I have won on a cruise, and I just enjoy playing for myself from that point on, because I like to spread the wealth. I don't need to be the person that everybody's like, oh, there's that girl who wins every trivia contest. Nope.
And I'm not quite to that point. I like to play, not if I know the answers, but I like to play, and I'm okay to win multiple times. But if I've won a second time, I will not take the medal. I'll let them give it to the second place person. So not quite to Rebecca's level of just sitting there quietly, but I only want to win once a cruise.
And then I've also taken a dive. Like when it's been like tied or whatever, I've like, been like, especially if it's somebody that I've played against just several times on the cruise or whatever. I'm like, oh, no, they can. Or I've seen them try and win and they haven't or whatever. No, because it's like, if I have a medal, like let somebody else have some fun.
I know. I'm surprised they don't change out the questions more, Donna, considering the repeat cruising that there is. So if they need some help, we've got Disney Trivia Live. Plenty of questions we can pass on.
They have trivia that is out of date on there.
Oh, it's so funny.
Like they have original trivia from when the cruise line launched. And I'll sit there and yes, I am that person of when trivia is wrong, I will usually point it out afterwards. But if it's one of those like everybody just got the answer wrong, I'll be like, you're wrong.
I've been on the receiving end of that. Mike, how did you guys do in trivia yesterday?
We won first place.
Is that the norm for you?
No, actually, we've been going to this same bar since November of last year, pretty much once a week. There's been a few weeks where we missed, but I think we've only won. This is our 5th time ever winning. And this time it was all Lord of the Rings trivia. But we had a couple ringers. My buddies,
Scum and Villainy. Yeah, I think you wrote that.
That's Scum and Villainy in Hollywood. My buddy is a big Lord of the Rings fan, and we had another friend join us who we just met last night, who asked if he could be on our team. He didn't have a team, and he was really good, and we kicked butt.
I feel so inept, Mike. Please spell Who's the Boss for me.
WHO' space THE space BOSSK question mark.
All right, I probably should have been typing. Do that one more time.
Two S's, Doobie. 2 S's in Bosk.
See, I'm trying to get to your Instagram, and I am failing miserably.
Just type in who's. Like that's what I did earlier.
WHOSTHEBOSSK.
Okay, that's what I've got. Maybe I just have the wrong URL. Okay, there it is. That's not it. All right, I don't care. I'm sorry. Continue.
By the way, it's the Bosk Pod, maybe.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Kyle coming in with realizing the same as I am. Yeah, it's
there
pod,
it is.
pod at the end, which is why you didn't have.
Sorry for the pain, but I really wanted to show this picture.
Yes, this was very important to Doobie. Sorry, I should have looked up knowing that.
So this was. We were very proud of ourselves in putting this costume together because the sword was $20 on Amazon, but the rest of that stuff we found in one trip to Goodwill. Like literally the rest of the costume was one trip to Goodwill.
You found a cape in Goodwill?
I know. I really want to see the people that donated.
Was it Burbank Goodwill?
It was in Burbank on Magnolia, yeah.
Yep. Burbank Goodwill is rocks.
Mike, so thank you, Kyle. Okay, you may continue.
Continuing with Walt Disney World news, we have continuing construction on the tower over at the Polynesian. We also have dates for when those are going to open up. The grand opening of the location is actually mid-December. So that all that information is available over here on Laughing Place. But I think of interest to Mike as a Muppet fan, check out the new little goodie you're going to get if you go to Jollywood Nights, which I know is on the other coast. But how cute is that? It's like a little packet of champagne flavored marshmallows from the amazing, I want to say it's Wonder Maid is the name of the company. I love their marshmallows. They have a kiosk at downtown at Disney Springs. But
they are just trying to drive home. This is for adults. Don't bring your kids.
Right? So champagne flavored marshmallows. I checked before we went on air, and all the evening tickets were still available. None were listed as sold out. They gave a sneak peek of what Glisten, the ice skating show, is gonna look like, as well as projections for the event. So cute little thing. Are you excited for this year's Jollywood, Jeremiah?
I am. I just, I can't say it's got to be better than last year because the first night was the night that was almost the equivalent of the Light Magic AP preview night. But as the event went on, it got definitely better. So the second year should be much better. I'm looking forward to seeing Glisten. I love the shows, especially the Nightmare Before Christmas show. So it'll be very interesting, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't rain on the first night again, because that was rough.
Yeah.
I have a few questions, Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
Using your vast vessel of Disney knowledge, going back a little bit to the Poly, when was the last time Disney opened a hotel that was not DVC? In Florida.
Pop Century.
So Art of Animation?
Animation.
Art of Animation, yeah.
Nothing since then. Tons of hotel openings since then, but every single one is
had DVC, or is under the DVC umbrella. Yes.
Okay.
Because again, each year when they put out how much the parks make and how it's the biggest money maker for the Walt Disney Company, that also includes DVC.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious if I was forgetting anything. That's one I want to ask Benji about sometime.
Meanwhile, over at Disneyland, Mike got to wander the park, and the railroad's down, so they set up something a little different on the loop.
Yeah, so I was told that the railroad will be reopening by the end of October, so basically right before the holiday season starts. But while the refurb is happening, you can visit. This is at Main Street Station. They have these photos of the equivalent buildings in all the other castle parks around the world.
And I love the Shanghai one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all there. But
well, Mike tells us about it. I love that they use the New Century Historical Society for the title of the group supporting this.
And then if you head up to Toontown Station, there's a different display about Walt's love of trains, which, we've seen this stuff before. If you've been to Walt Disney Family Museum, there was an exhibit in the Opera House for a while about Walt and trains, but these are all photos that we've seen before. Just fun to have them up there. And then there were some attraction posters for the Disneyland Railroad right there. They also have a replica of the map there on the right that you would see inside the Main Street Station. And then I was most interested in those 5 plaques on the left that are about each of the
that's neat
steam train locomotives and some little facts about each one. So if you really wanted to get into the nitty gritty of the I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. And then I was super lucky that day because I went over to I knew that they had another display at Tomorrowland Station, but when I went over there was nobody there, and the chain was across the entrance. So I went back to Toontown and I asked the engineer who had given me a guided tour of Toontown Station. I asked him if anyone was going to be manning the station over in Tomorrowland, and he said, well, I'll just walk over with you. Wow. And he literally walked me over to Tomorrowland Station, chatted with me the whole way, and give me little tidbits about the railroad, and then let me in over at Tomorrowland, where they have a display about different kind of bygone stations that used to be. I think they're all in Tomorrowland, if I recall correctly. Yeah. What's that one on the right called? That he said it was one of the most Viewliner, one of the most short-lived attractions at Disneyland.
Yep.
The People Mover, a few others there. So
in the roundup that we'll have the link below, Mike's got all the close-up images of all that stuff. I'm just showing you a few highlights here.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fun way to keep people informed and interested in the trains while the refurb is happening, and also a good way to keep the cast members busy and working.
And Mike,
while the train's done. Yeah.
Am I correct, Mike, that one of those tours that you got was actually, or at least somewhat on a live stream? Did I hear that right earlier?
Yeah. So, right. We went by there first on a live stream. And then when I went back to get the photos was when the Tomorrowland people were gone. But yeah, we saw it first on the live stream, and then I went back to get the stills.
So if you go watch that live stream from Mike last week at Disneyland, you can catch that tour just as Mike did.
Very cool. It's been piping hot down there in Orange County, and so nice that a new water station popped up at Disneyland. Where do we find this, Mike?
So there's that pathway between the Matterhorn and Alice in Wonderland. That basically it connects from the hub to Fantasyland without going through Sleeping Beauty Castle. And there's a bathroom area right there on your left if you're going north into the park. That's where this new water refill station is. It's themed to the Drink Me bottle from Alice in Wonderland. It has a water bottle refill, and 2 water fountains as well.
That actually, like, I got that when I was out there a few months ago, and when I saw this article, I was like, wait, we already did that. And then I saw that, I was like, when was the last time they actually did anything like this? Like, that's a carved Alice. That whole thing is themed. We're not Paris, we're not Tokyo. Like, just the fact that they did that was so cool.
So
I was trying to find your tweet, Jeremiah, because the last time we saw this, it had none of this ornamentation.
Yeah.
It was just kind of that Disney pale blue, as I recall.
Yeah, I believe we actually did an article about it too.
Yeah, I'll have to find. Maybe Doobie will find it while we're chatting. But what were you going to say, honey? Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that, you see stuff like this and you're like, what in the world made this happen? Then I see it's September. And so, the Disney fiscal year starts on October 1st. So this is one of those use it or lose it items, I think.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a funny thought. That it's.
I'm totally joking. I can't imagine that had anything.
No, I know, no, but I love the idea that that's what happened here. But man, I'm hoping that this sticks around. I'm always so nervous nowadays whenever Disney does something that's ornate like this, that it's gonna get just manhandled and piled on, and we will end up where next thing you know, there's a sign on it, that's like sorry, out for refurbishment, and is never able to return, kind of thing. So hopefully that won't be the case here. By the way, refurbishment, but not because people were climbing all over it, but because it's a seasonal thing. Small World's currently down for refurbishment. So I like I love it when you share refurbishment signs. I love the signs of Disneyland. So thank you for grabbing these, Mike.
Sure.
Yeah, all my refurbishment signs out here are just the wall company doing different quotes from whatever fits in that land.
Yep. No, this is adorable. So
something else. I think this was this past week when I saw, or was that the previous week, when the Disney dress shop, Marceline's Confectionery was.
I think that may have been last week, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I am unsure what ended up on live stream, what ended up on the morning show, and what ended up here. But I do know that you found this in the park. Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. Jedi training remote.
Is that real? Like, is it a drone?
So I don't think it hovers or anything, but I was told it makes noises and it lights up. Yep. I actually just I would pay like $50 just to get the replica of the remote. I don't need it to do anything. So that's what made me hesitant, because it's $90 to $95 or something, but it comes with the hilt, Luke's lightsaber hilt, and that little, I don't really know what the counter is going to do or whatever, if it is actually interactive.
Yes, it is.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, I just want the thing. It'll just sit on my shelf and collect dust. So maybe I'll wait and see if it goes on discount or something.
Because I saw it. It's available over on Disney store as well. And it's sold. It's currently now listed as sold out. But what happens is it's a motorized training sphere that kind of moves and lights up, and you interact with the hilt to get points on that base. And there's 3 modes of play, so that you can end up increasing the difficulty. I do not know if it's I haven't played with it myself, but like I say, that sphere swivels and it projects targets of blue and red and then
Oh,
you're
neat.
supposed to interact with them for scoring. So yeah, but it's like I say, it's currently listed as sold out over at Disney Store. So if you do want one, they have them in the parks. We've seen them
As of last week, at least.
right.
But just on that side, they don't have them here.
Yeah.
We have
Not
the Star
yet.
Speeder 3000. They have that.
Gideon wants one of those, the Star Speeder 3000. He's been
Yeah.
heavily
Yeah.
pestering mom about that.
$300 toy, and there's no convenient way to get that home unless you ship it.
Yeah.
I want to ask Mike a question, since you said $300 toy. Just off the top of your head, your best guess right now, what would you say is the average price of the souvenirs you have paid for in your home?
There's certainly a lot of pricier items, but a lot of smaller scale stuff too. I was actually watching some YouTube video earlier about how most toys now are targeted at adult toy collectors with money to spend because kids don't care anymore and aren't generally spending money on toys. So
Correct.
it's an interesting era that we live in, as you know. I guess toys will, when my generation dies off, toys will become a thing of the past.
That's hilarious.
And Jeremiah, to your $300 price point, my son said, well, I know I really want it, and it's only going to get more expensive on the secondary market.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
No, don't say exactly, Mike. Spoken like someone with a...
No, he's right. He's right.
The challenge, because I mean, we paid, I forget how much we paid. We spent years stalking eBay for a Star Speeder, whatever it was, way back when, that didn't do near the amount of fun stuff that this one does.
Okay, I'm going to say something that I know that
So funny.
people chime in and say stuff. It's a toy. You know what Mike's going to do with everything that's behind him? At some point, it's going to be at a garage sale. You know what happens to every single one of those popcorn buckets that people rush out and spend $100 on? I can go on Facebook Marketplace and get them for $10 right
I've
now.
got a flag on the play
Flag
right
on the
now.
play.
Such a flag on the play. Dude, Jeremiah, do you realize who you are?
I know but I've limited my stuff. I came away from Expo with,
How many pins in your collection?
again, they're sitting collecting dust. That's why I haven't bought any.
Are you saying you're a different person now? I understand. Are you saying this Jeremiah does not collect everything under the sun?
Correct. Experiences outweigh the need of a giant wall of stuff behind me.
Okay. A, I'm amazed, and B, Rebecca, that stuff we've been holding for him, we don't need to anymore. We can give it to someone else.
I know, right?
Oh no, I'm coming to get the first version of the nickel tour that you guys have, that pin trading pen that I've just waited my entire life for. But no, that was one of those things, like, especially at Expo or at D23, seeing the people walk out with 2 Star Speeders each, and then those turn around and were available for, on the secondary market, 15. Shut up, Tony.
I love her.
But people were walking out with 2 Star Speeders each, and on the secondary market up to $1,500. And I was telling my friends, like, don't pay that. It was available on Disney Store, and I'm like, it's going to make it to the parks. Like, no, it's going to sell out. It's a limit of 3,000 for $300 each.
Yep.
Yeah, they will get out to Mike pretty soon, and I'm guessing by the time next year rolls around, they'll be like the Rex, that one of the last big things that I bought. That's like, hey, look, it's 25% off. Hey, it's 30% off. Hey, oh, now it's back up to full price.
I honestly didn't really want a Star Speeder until I saw what my friend Nick did. You probably saw this on his social media. Rebecca.
Go ahead, Mike. Share.
He just filled his Star Speeder with all sorts of different action figures. So many of them are not even Star Wars. In the front row is like the Steven Spielberg action figure. And, I don't know. It's like a random assortment of figures. And I was like, oh, this is pretty great that you can fit this many.
The entire thing is really cool. There is one downstairs my housemates bought. Watching the video, like, because it does the 30-second clips, the entire cabin lights up. The only thing that's missing is the sound or the music. Thanks, rights. But one of my friends who works for Roosevelt actually got his signed by Tony Baxter. I was like, that's a great idea.
That's sweet. Yeah,
that's nice. I'm wishing.
Can I tell you? Go ahead.
I'm wishing Gideon could hear me so he could bring the one that he has over there in his room so I could show you guys because I love it. But go ahead, Mike.
I just want to tell you the new rule that has been instituted in our household, which is I am no longer allowed to start collecting anything unless I stop collecting something else. So if a new collection begins, a previous one has to come to an end.
But does that mean like you can't get the new release of the Star Wars figures, or does that just count still?
Like to give you an example, I was tempted to start on Lorcana because they put out that box that had Scrooge McDuck on it. And I was like, oh, it's Scrooge McDuck. And I texted Tori and I was like, should I start buying Lorcana? And she was like, well, you have to choose something else to stop collecting. So that put an end to that temptation.
And you said, thank you, honey. This is why I love you so much, right?
Yes, I did.
Good. You said, this is why marrying you was one of the things I remember most about. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
How many years did we spend, honey, tracking this down?
I have no idea.
Yeah. And we found it. We finally found, and usually what it was like $400, $500 on eBay typically. And then we saw one time that was below 200, and I clicked buy it now, like in the moment.
It was
right.
Well, because we weren't like intentionally looking. We were telling somebody about how we had been looking for it, and we just looked to see how expensive they are. Oh, that one's super cheap. Let's do it.
But it's one of those where when the doors open, it makes the sound and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, we haven't changed the batteries in it lately.
Experiences. I'm with you, Jeremiah. This is a good question. Losing the facial hair. If you had said, okay, I will stop collecting facial hair, would that have sufficed?
And the Lorcana cards are kind of,
they're small. They don't take up much room. I used to collect
the facial hair is going to grow back very quickly.
I used to collect baseball cards because the whole season would fit in a box that was like that big and that wide, right? You could have the whole season of cards right there.
I remember those tops, and I remember also throwing them out when I at one point looked, and I paid more for the collection than it's worth on like any market. And I'm like, wow.
I collect anything that I can store in the cloud, so it takes up zero room in my house.
I don't want to turn my camera around because it's a pain in the butt, but just in my eyesight right now is my son's collection, but my son has collected from the previous generations before him, so I can see the monorail, Polynesian Resort. I can see the Main Street train station from the monorail set, the red car trolley, the runaway railway train, the clapboard from Hollywood Studios, and my favorite thing is this enormous Brontosaurus, right? It's Brachiosaurus over here from Jurassic. So yeah, we have an entire menagerie of Jurassic Park. And they scare you in the middle of the night, by the way. If you're walking through the house and he left it somewhere, it's like there's this thing with teeth all of a sudden in your face.
My face hugger is on the side of a wall, so I know how that goes. I'm sure Tori loves that one too, Mike.
One of the first live streams we ever did, I think it was even before we were doing them on YouTube, I think it was on Twitter, was Mike roaming around his house showing off his collection like
so good.
Many years ago.
So good.
Okay, and then I think you had one more thing you wanted to talk about from your experiences recently. That Scary Farm.
Oh yeah, so this past weekend was opening weekend of Knott Scary Farm. Probably my personal favorite of the theme park haunts in Southern California. They had two new mazes this year. One was themed to spiders at an old folks home. It's called Widows. And the other one was kind of like a New England mythological monster, kind of like a Slender Man type thing, but in olden times.
Oh, wow.
Which was interesting and both really good. Then it's not safe for work, it's not safe for kids, but I would say check out the video I put together of Disney jokes and references from the hanging show this year, because it's worth it for a few moments. There's
I love how, Mike, if I scroll to it in here, look.
Yeah.
Age
So
restricted.
I've been setting these to 18 plus, but the hanging has a bit with animatronic Abraham Lincoln fighting animatronic Walt Disney. So I thought that was pretty clever.
Nice. Okay. Scary. It's over there. If you want to see it, scary. If you want to understand spiders at an old folks' home, sure. Go check that out. Woo. Yeah. We'll have the link below for all of you.
All right.
Meanwhile, over at the Magic Kingdom, Jeremiah was sharing images like this.
It's been very strange seeing the omnibus running throughout the day. I mean, Mike sees the same thing at Disneyland where midday it disappears, but this was, I don't remember what time, but it was later in the day. They've been running it almost until the parade starts because it hasn't been that busy in the parks.
It was like almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it was morning for me. But you were in the park to experience some yummy food.
Yes. Pecos Bill's changed their menu again. They change it, it seems, every few weeks. Hopefully this one will stick around longer. They kind of moved over towards the bowl type, and I was really hoping that you could actually make your own bowl at the old topping station. Sadly, that's not the case. It's create your own. This was the pinto beans, cilantro, lime, rice. Yeah. Cowboy caviar, which was just a weird name.
Wait,
but I got
you don't know that is. I mean, to be fair, that's like a standard, like just a menu name out there. That's not a Disney creation.
Never heard cowboy caviar before.
Oh yeah, no, that's So.
But it's really good. It's a sizable bowl.
Looks pretty big.
Yeah, and then the best part was the corn, which I think is the next tweet, is something they've been doing for the Halloween event, and now it is full-time on the menu. And yes, it looks exactly like a half a cob of corn, but it's actually just, as it says, a sweet corn mousse that is just so good. Like that. Okay. That's something I'll probably hit every time I go to the Magic Kingdom now.
I want to clarify. This isn't an actual corn on the cob that they put flavoring on top of.
No, it is just a mousse in a corn, they pour it into their little corn-shaped mold.
Wow.
You should have done a is it cake kind of thing where you cut into it.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out what this was when I was looking at him. Like, wait, he says it's a sweet corn mousse.
Yeah, the entire thing is a mousse.
Because I'm like, that looks gross otherwise.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, when they debuted it, I think at Mickey's Not So Scary, it may have been 2 years ago, maybe 3. And it was one of those ones where we all kind of went, oh, well, that's weird. And then when I tried it, it was just so good.
So Alexa is asking what we think of the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree signage. I like it. I like anytime we have additional bears at the parks because they're adorable. What can I say?
I'm dying at Kyle's comment.
Meanwhile, Tony Betty is sharing that Spiders at an Old Folks Home was his 4th spoken word album.
Kyle's very deliberately stealing from Mitch Hedberg.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy to know Kyle's not that clever. That would have surprised me. That is hilarious.
One of his albums is titled Mitch Altogether.
That's craziness.
All right. What's next?
As we begin to wrap up, I wanted to let everyone know that our friends over at DLR and WDW magazine are offering 70% off to D23 gold members. If you don't follow us on Twitter, you don't get to have fun little daily Disney Did You Know moments this one, talking about the carvings of on the Tree of Life. Doobie, what have you been up to?
So before I get to what I've been up to, I want to make a correction. That video of Mike touring his house was actually done right after shutdown. So we have a live stream of Magic Kingdom down for COVID, and we're like, well, what the heck are we going to do for live streams now? So we did a Lego build, and then we did Mike touring his house.
Oh, those are cool.
Another Lego build, and then DTL was born. I'm just looking at the history of our videos here. So yeah, if you want to see Mike touring his house, this is a double speed, but the actual video is at normal speed. Go check that out.
I still need to try to find that key. I'm going to check eBay now.
No, you're not. You're not. It's not an experience. There's a link to the video for you if you want to see that. All right. Oh, and then Rebecca. So
Yes.
while I was trying to find Jeremiah's tweet of that water fountain, I just was searching Laughing Place and water. In some place, somebody back in April was talking about, what was it? Stressy, Depressy Little Monster was talking about World of Color. And I guess the original Chernobog Tower and how they like it.
That's us.
And so they found this video, they credited us, video credit Laughing Place. Do you remember us getting this video back in the day?
This isn't us.
It's not you and me, but it is Laughing Place, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, this was done. It was someone on the team. I remember posting it way back in the day when World of Color was first debuting, and we got this from, I believe, the Grand Californian way back in the day.
Wow, that's really cool.
Long time ago.
Really the only video that I've ever seen is ours.
Didn't mean to do that. Should have paused. Okay. Anyway, I got to go see Coco at the El Capitan over the weekend. Unfortunately, the last showings were yesterday. Let's see. The LP video of that was probably the best pre-premiere version that was never seen. Cool. Go LP back in the day. Not that we don't still do great. So I saw Coco at the El Cap. They showed it, I think, for about a week. And it was pretty cool. They gave us a special curtain show, which is right here. You can see that. We have this up on our YouTube channel. And then I got to see the movie, which is the first time I've really sat down and watched the entire movie. And it is, and I think Tony would agree with me, the best Pixar movie there ever was. It is fantastic. So, yeah, that's how I spent my weekend. And then I saw Hamilton, which is not you know what's funny about seeing Hamilton? I forgot to mention this to you, Rebecca. The place was so full of young people, not kids, but young people, teenagers, tweens. And I got to believe Disney Plus is a big part of that. People discovering it on Disney Plus and then therefore saying, oh, I need to go see this in person. I mean, there was I've seen it before on stage, and there was nowhere near as many young people as there were on Saturday.
Well, now that it's not $350 a ticket also, that helps.
Well, I didn't see it on Broadway. I saw it at Pantages. I don't think
at the Pantages, like the first time it was out there, it was 300 plus.
Maybe that's why. I don't know, but there were a lot of young people there. I'm going to give Disney Plus at least a little bit of credit for that. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. Nothing Disney.
Go to the Funko shop while you're out there, dude.
You know what? While we were waiting for the Pantages, we walked over there to do it. They close at 6:00 every day, and so we weren't able to. But I did, Mike. That thing you did. Where you went to the skate shop and everything to see the location of Disney's original studio. We went to Los Feliz. We went to Los Feliz. We saw that was cool. Just nice. Just knowing that's where that was, that's where it started was so cool. And right now, as you know, it's a skateboard shop, which is just so funny. But you walk in and they do sell some T-shirts for it and the artwork on the outside, and just being there. I'm very glad Ben said, "Hey, let's go check that out," because that was really, really, really cool.
Had you been there? Had Benji been there before? You guys must have been by there before.
No? Well, Benji has definitely been there before.
I hadn't. Certainly Gideon hadn't. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was great. That was actually a highlight. Just knowing I'm in the spot was pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way.
I was sad when I went there post-COVID. When it still said it was a tattoo parlor, and if they had still done tattoos, I actually would have walked out of there with my first ever tattoo.
Well, I am very glad they didn't, because that would be a different Jeremiah.
Well, I was going to get it on my forehead, so.
That would be a very different Jeremiah. As we wrap up and I get ready to share with you the quick hits for the week, want to remind you on the 29th is Coffee Day. If you want a $1 iced or hot coffee at a kiosk, be sure to tell them that it's Coffee Day. Mention National Coffee Day for said value.
Coffee Day. Call myself.
Last week, Josh Damaro was at Inbound 2024. We have a report from our very own CEO, Ben, on his presentation and Ben's thoughts seeing Josh in a not Disney environment. This was really kind of a business environment. But during that, Josh shared that the BDX droids that we love so much over from Galaxy's Edge will be making a big screen debut. So cute.
So Josh is hoping to be CEO. I think that's, everyone knows that. Benji is already CEO. When they talk, do you think like Josh asked Benji for advice?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going on there. Yes, exactly. Like, impart some knowledge to me as I move into the role. Yes. Also here at Laughing Place, numerous park scores from around the globe have been making their way to various streaming services, whether it's new Tokyo Disney Resort melodies or previous tunes from Disneyland Paris, like the Million Colors. So be sure to check your streaming services for favorite Disney park stuff. I'm assuming it was Jeremiah who got the amazing video of the Voices of Liberty performing music from Coco.
Yes, I forgot all about that. To celebrate the Latin Heritage Month, they added a new song, which is Remember Me. And I was there on the first day. And the amazing thing is, and I talked to one of the members, it can change. And we have two different videos up. One where the start of it is all in Spanish, and the second one is them doing it in English. So depending on who is available in the cast, it can change. And they've said that even when they do the duet at some point, they may even change that so it's English and Spanish at the same time. So it's one of you should always stop by and see Voice of Liberty whenever you're in Epcot. But that new song just adds so much to it. Doobie also sent you something cool that I think you may really like.
Okay. The new friend for the manatee over at Epcot, who was alone when his friend flew off to a new place. So we have a new manatee arriving at Epcot. SeaWorld Orlando has announced a flying theater immersive experiences coming to their Arctic zone. So they're really excited about that. Details on it are not a lot, but go check out. There's a video that they've released in regards to that coming in 2025. Also coming in 2025 is a record-breaking coaster to Cedar Point called Siren's Curse.
So want to go to that.
So that more information about that can be found in the links below. And finally, we were all looking forward to Area 15 Entertainment coming to Central Florida, but that project has been canceled.
That is sad.
Sad.
I'm really sad about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, you guys are closer to Vegas, so you can just
we
go
went
to that
there.
project.
We went. Yeah, that's what made me so excited about it coming to Orlando.
Like, woo, it'll be close when we get back there. It'll be right where that big robot is that we're driving past, and didn't realize that's where it was going to be.
Jeremiah, have you heard anything about the Epcot Anthem hitting streaming like they promised?
I have not. That was one of those things that we asked on the day on the media event, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's coming to streaming." There has been no answer. I actually will probably follow that up. So Gio, remind me next week during the show, and I will hopefully have an answer for you.
And we got a question in the Discord asking for that Making of the Disney Wish video, which is now on YouTube. It's also on Disney Plus, by the way. So I put that link in the Discord in the Disney Cruise Line channel. If you want to go check that out. What's the Discord, you ask? Well, if you are a premium member of Laughing Place, if you want to support us, we greatly appreciate it. And you'll get access to our Discord where you get to talk directly to Disney personalities like Kyle Burbank, Doobie Mosley, Gideon Mosley, and more. So just hit that join button right there on the stream, and you can do that.
And Marianne.
Otherwise, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. Those are free. The join costs a little bit of money.
Completely unrelated to anything Disney. I highly recommend. Great value is cookie butter. It's a limited edition. It's super yummy cereal. I'm very, very excited. I'm loving it very, very much. And I want to thank our CEO for getting me a box of Kelsey Mix. Yay! I'm not a fan of either Kelsey, but I do like cereal. And look, it's a mixture of 3 popular cereals in one box. Okay.
Wait, can you hold that up? I didn't know it was a mixture.
Yeah. 3 cereals, one box.
I saw the ad for that.
Reese's, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or CTC, as our Mac likes to call it, and Lucky Charms.
Oh, now I'm interested. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Since we're on non-Disney topics, I have a question for Jeremiah. Did you watch The Penguin yet?
Yes.
Any good? We're gonna watch it tonight.
At Comic-Con when they did the preview panel, it was the Penguin comes off of the last Batman film, which I wasn't a huge fan of that. It's bringing everything into the modern day, which is fine, but you don't have to lose some of the classic stuff. Penguin, this first episode ran really long, and it kind of just hits the point where you're like, there's nothing happening in this. Okay. Amazing acting, but the show over.
It's a Max show, right?
Max. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a spin-off of Batman.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a TV
Colin
show.
Farrell.
It's not a movie.
Yeah.
Correct.
Colin Farrell does. Like you wouldn't even recognize him if you didn't know it was him in there. I'm hoping that it picks up pace. They did some good setup, but again, it felt like it was 2 hours, but I know it was just over an hour.
Mike, what's your favorite thing that you're watching currently on television, if you're watching anything?
Oh, we're watching Deadwood again. I do this every 5 years. I'll go through all of Deadwood. It's my favorite show ever, pretty much. And we actually finished season 1 of The Rings of Power because we knew we needed to know about it for that trivia contest, which actually helped us win. And then I don't know, scattered other things. Nothing big.
What are you watching, Rebecca?
I gave that new Matlock a look-see last night.
Oh, Kathy Bates Matlock.
Yeah.
Keep
It's
it a
the
secret.
first show I've ever watched that ended by telling me not to tell people about it and let them experience it for themselves.
Seriously,
Strange.
she comes on after it and goes,
During the
"Keep it
credits.
secret."
Yeah.
Well, God,
like,
you guys would
okay.
fail at Fight Club also.
Okay. I'm not. Here's my take on the Matlock. I want to like it, but it has an overarching storyline that has me scared to get invested because I will be left hanging when they cancel it 2 episodes in because they don't like the ratings. That's my fear nowadays. So it's one of those shows where I watch the first episode and I'm inclined to wait until the first season is done, or I know how much of the story they're actually going to get through before I start to get invested in it. So.
How about you, Jeremiah? You watching anything?
Watching The Penguin. I got this really wild hair to go back and watch all of How I Met Your Mother because I don't think I ever watched the entire run of it.
Okay.
It is one of those ones that if you watching it today through the glasses of today, doesn't really, not a good thing. But no, it's entertaining. Penguin is something that I hope will grow. Agatha all along had a great start. Really enjoyed that. The Zacks of Life we talked about, or Mac and Kyle talked about that earlier today. So go check that out. And then of course the best show ever, Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, we're behind on that. So I was just telling DB before the show started, we need to remember to watch it because I've forgotten to watch. I think we're 2 weeks
picked up for a new season already. So
yeah. So by the way, Kyle, you can drop a link in the chat with the Zacks of Life if you have it handy. What's that?
Is this the story of the evil conglomerate that battles Maxwell Smart, Agent 86?
Oh.
Get smart.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't even know what that is, Tony. How do I mean, let me put it this way. What is it?
Yeah, let us know.
hold on, let's play a game of figuring out what KAOS is.
I've been watching High Potential on ABC, the new detective show, the latest.
Oh, I liked that a lot.
The latest
Potential,
in
I
a
liked.
long stream of I See Things No One Else Sees, which is
I watched that. Like
Yeah.
they keep showing that
Oh.
commercial during Dance with the Stars, and every time I'm like,
Oh, Chaos. Okay, I saw a preview for this.
Jeff
saw
Goldblum plays Zeus.
It's a modern take on the Greek gods. And so you have Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, and I saw him. He was on the phone. The bit I saw, and he was trying, because I like The Circle, which is on Netflix. So when The Circle ended, I got a little preview of this, and he was on the phone, like trying to reach Athena and trying to reach Apollo on the phone, and they weren't taking this call.
Oh,
And
is
so
it like a
sounds
continuation
really
of
fun.
Hades Town? Like it
just looking at pictures of this, knowing that's what's going on, I got to check this out.
Yeah, it looked very, very strange. So
How does a show like this? When did this come out? How does this happen on Netflix and I'm not aware of it? I watch Netflix every day.
Because we live in a Disney bubble.
I watch
We have so
Netflix-
much going on in our Disney bubble. that
now we're talking TV talk here at Laughing
Yeah,
Place.
it's fine.
And I just
Earlier
feel like
it was water and travel talk on.
Netflix does a remarkably poor job of letting their biggest customers know what they actually have. But thank you,
That is
Tony.
why websites like Laughing Place can exist, because we have columns like what's coming on Hulu, and
Disney
people
Plus.
will read, because otherwise they wouldn't know. We have what's coming on Disney Plus, and Alex will actually highlight certain things. If you haven't checked out those columns and you're looking for something to watch, check out our columns about Hulu and about Disney Plus and what's hit this month
Yes.
and what's coming next month.
All right. Well, we have gone a bit far afield of theme parks.
Yep.
So, oh, Mike has his finger up.
Going back to theme parks, I have to say this Friday evening I will be at SeaWorld San Diego for Howl O Scream.
Woohoo!
And then I'll be back at Knott's Berry Farm on Sunday for the family-friendly Halloween activities related to Knott's Spooky Farm. So look forward to the coverage from that.
Which media outlets do they mention at that? Caitlin, you should have been with us this morning. We were talking Percy Jackson this morning, and we actually had a viewer on the morning show who said they were the biggest Percy Jackson fan. So I feel like you both need to come together and see who actually is.
Dude, my camera's so blurry. Oh well.
He
We'll
looks
see you
good
on
though.
next week.
This hairless Mike has grown on me. I am a big fan. Keep it that way, in my
Nope.
opinion.
Nope.
Oh, well.
So I actually did the math because I have to officiate a wedding in like 2.5 weeks, and I was like, will I be able to grow my beard back in that time?
and
I
then you
think,
shook the magic 8-ball.
yeah, I should be good.
All
Awesome.
signs point to I do. Bye, everybody.